You're watching Analysts After Dark, an underground hideaway where insatiably curious analysts examine provocative project problems, share salacious secrets, and establish a covert network of co-conspirators. Step into the dark with your hosts, AJ Hawley and Steve Jones.
Dr. Jones, how you doing?
I'm fantastic, AJ. How you doing?
Good. What's new with you? How's the
What's
dog?
new with me? The dog is good. A little scared. Waking up at 2 a.m. for the last few nights, so I've been awake a long time.
All right. So is that your new favorite after dark activity?
Trying to sleep, yes, but not doing it successfully.
Fair.
I wouldn't say favorite, but yeah, it's the most frequent right now.
Fair.
Home repairs going okay?
Yeah, I had a whole string of the things happen at your house in threes, but the AC's working now. We got all the stuff fixed. Did a little home repair myself, so our washer now works under my tutelage.
Did you YouTube it?
For sure. I think it's the best part about YouTube now is that you can fix anything, and so
Just about.
I repaired like several different motors in the washer and the whole drain line and everything. I felt like a genius, and it's sad how little that takes for me to feel like a genius.
Understood.
Yeah.
So I got to take a little time to reflect last week when just before the 4th of July holiday here. I got to spend an afternoon making PB&J.
All right.
More deliveries. It was about 85 sandwiches that we delivered to the food pantry.
Very nice.
But it's a good feeling.
Sure.
And
I'm sure it helps a lot too.
Yeah. There's a lot of people still waiting in line at times. But it feels good.
Well, I'm excited for our guest today. I think this has been a long time coming, so I know that he's been champing at the bit a little bit to be on our show, and we wanted to make him wait a little bit. I think just kind of he was a little bit too eager, and we had to really just hold on, and then obviously build up our audience so that way it was worthwhile for the fantabulous Vince Mirabelli to be on the show. So fantabulous. So welcome, Vince Mirabelli.
Gentlemen,
welcome.
What are we drinking?
Well, that's not how we started.
Whose show is this?
Different show. Sorry, my bad. Cheers, boys.
Let's answer the question. A little PB Scotch.
Yeah,
nice.
I got Glenlivet 14-year single malts.
There you go.
Cognac cask.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very nice.
It's nice.
I just finished off the last of my Irish cream.
Okay, there you go.
Well,
this is the first crossover.
This is
Analysts After Work and Analysts After Dark. It's very exciting. Very excited.
I'm not sure about you yet. It's not quite dark here, but we'll get there.
Well, you had me on in the summer. Like, I don't know what. I honestly don't know why you had to make me wait. Because I'm looking through the list of the people that went before me. This is unacceptable. Gentlemen. Coach Vic?
Right.
Jamie Champagne? Really? Steve Palmer? Jen Bedell? Hans? Amy? Coop? Leslie Hughes? Amy Akowski? I think she's cool. I've not met her formally, but I heard she's cool. Greg Brown? Amber Mack? Jen Batten? Dave Schaefer? Coach Vic again? You had Vic on twice.
We know stars.
You had Vic on twice before you had me.
I can explain the Vic one only because I was on his show and he had pressed me way back and said, AJ, I want to be the first guest on your podcast when you host it. And I said, deal. and then he wanted me to get that done in like the next 3 weeks. It took a year and a half, but we got it up and running. And I promised him then, I said, and that's live on air. I said, if I ever have a podcast, you'd be the first guest. And he was, and he did a great job. But if you look at all those guests, they all have one thing in common.
What's that?
They have content to share. They came with us and said, we have this, we have a topic, and then yours was everything. We'll talk about everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll say on the topic of content, AJ, first of all, touche. Secondly, I will. There's a phrase that I've been using that I like, and I think it's applicable here. A tiger is quietest when it's hunting, and so I've been busy doing other stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, little sweet brown.
So you want to talk about a topic? This is the Seinfeld episode, man. We can talk about whatever you want.
That's exactly the whole point of it. It was the show about something.
Did I just walk into something? But like,
no,
we can. This we can talk about whatever you want.
We can talk about whatever. And we do have one thing that we've not done for any guests today. We have a new segment.
Okay.
But before we get to that, let's give you a formal introduction, right?
Sure.
So if you are not familiar with Vince Mirabelli, what rock have you been sleeping under? The other question that I have, though, is B, Vince Mirabelli, with a strategic business analysis and organizational development background, Vincent is every organization's secret agent for saving your people time, money, and energy. Named a top 10 thought leader on culture, change, and business management by Thinkers 360. He's a certified project management professional, certified business analysis professional, and Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt. Through keynote speaking and customized workshop, Vincent empowers leaders and organizations to develop cultures of high performance and continuous improvement while working with clients across diverse industries and sectors. Guaranteed to be entertaining, humorous, and transformational, Vincent teaches us that to succeed in business today, we must take an authentic and empathetic approach, creating organizational processes and cultures where everyone feels seen, heard, valued, like a true part of the team.
I appreciate you giving us the abridged version. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no, that was the short version, and that's it, folks. That we've run out of time. Thank you.
It's our show. Thanks, everybody. Oh man,
you do it all.
That is quite a lengthy intro.
Yeah,
and I think you win the award for longest.
You know, when you do a lot of things, you have a lot of things to say. I don't know.
Well,
stop having Vic on the show twice before
Fair.
me.
Fair.
Now, just for the record, as people are watching this and hear me bad mouthing Vic and Jamie and Jens and Amy and Hans, these are my people. So if I actually didn't like Vic, I wouldn't say I can't believe you had Vic on twice before me.
Yeah,
Vic is a cool dude.
I agree.
So I'm just for those that maybe are not familiar with my humor, this is not coming from a place of malice. This is coming from just pure joy. And I wholly respect all those people, and they're the best. Except Hans, not Hans. Nah, I'm just kidding. Hans is awesome.
Well, we did Hans a solid and said, "Hey, Hans, we want you to be on the show." And then he was just 20 minutes late, and he goes, "Oh, I'll get there when I get there." He was very fashionably late on his.
Respect. Yeah.
He's like,
"Oh, that was the liver snack episode."
That was. That was.
You didn't watch that one, I can tell.
No. This is on too late, guys. Like, I'm normally the only reason I'm able to do this is because it's the summer, and the kids are like they're going to be up for a little bit. Otherwise, I know you record them, but like, I don't watch my own show.
Well, I mean that's fair. I don't watch my own show. I was here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're present for it, you don't need to rewatch it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Unless you want to learn something. Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, we do have a fun show planned, and it's going to be very enjoyable. First of all, is there anything that you specifically want to talk about, Vince, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's chaotic conversation?
No, I'm happy to just be self promoting of all the things that I'm doing on LinkedIn with LinkedIn Learning, my own training that Steve is a part of, and I'm super excited that he signed up for the Next Gen BA. Going to be relaunching that, retooling it, and relaunching it in the fall. So I'm really excited for that. Other than that, just like connect with me on LinkedIn and let's kick it.
So to clarify, your
Yep.
new session that is called Next Gen.
Yes.
And you didn't think to include any of the gens that you're friends with?
It's so well played, clever, witty wordplay. It's next generation.
Oh,
but
I
just
see.
Like, yeah, not the next gen.
Okay.
I've had enough of the gens.
Too many gen episodes.
Like too many gens. Too many. The three gens were like messaging me from DC when they were all together at the DC conference with Amy, and like, look, it's the three gens. We're talking about Bridgerton, and we're planning when we're going to come back on your show. And like, that's why there haven't been any new episodes. I'm ducking the gens.
You're ducking, that's fair.
That works.
I'm ducking the gens.
I feel like they need to get together and then create their own Next Gen BA, and then just call it the Next Gen BA. With one N in brackets, because there's
Right.
there's a double N gen.
Right.
Two double N gens.
And then go head to head.
Sure.
They have to be different episodes though.
So you have to
one of them talking at a time.
Yeah. I can't imagine the three of them on a show together, like with no moderator, it would just be chaos.
It'd be like a verbal Ouija
I won't even
board.
tell you how I think that would go. I'm not gonna. I like them all. I'm not gonna tell you how I think that would go.
I think verbal Ouija board sounds good.
Verbal Ouija board. All right, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Verbal
with
Ouija
multiple
board.
spirits.
Or
trying to spell.
Ouija board.
Ouija board. I like that. I like that.
So, all right, you mentioned that you have a ton of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So then that means that you have to be pretty plugged into the BA community.
I like to think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, what is changing within the BA community to where you feel comfortable and confident to create a whole class around the next generation of business analysts?
That's an interesting question. So you have to know, AJ, I'm in preparing for this, I've been like super guarded. The fact that I'm having this is like, because I don't know where you're going to take this. That was actually a very astute question. One of the reasons I created the program is, there's so much training for BAs in the space of like how to do X better, and like replace X with some technique or some methodology. How to be better and agile. How to use a RACI chart more effectively. And like, okay, those are skills. Like you need to know how to do those things. But the gap that I saw in the market was, okay, there are people that are doing that training, that are doing that foundational training. Nobody is actually addressing, what are the skills that BAs need today, but also for tomorrow. And so it extends beyond just the foundational stuff. And nobody was really doing that. So, and I'll say, like, I created it. I'm probably the last person that should talk about it. I'd much rather have my students talk about it and like the value that it's getting. Yesterday, we talked about personal branding and the value of personal branding. I talked through my own experiences and like how I've been building a brand and cultivating that brand over the last 10 years, which is why I'm terrified to be on with you today, because that brand could be blown up in the next, 34 minutes. I talk about things like AI and not AI from the, like, what is AI and, how do you build a model? No, we're probably not going to have to do that. but it's how do we leverage AI? How do we use AI practically to achieve some objective, right? How can we use AI to write requirements, draft requirements, but requirements, write test cases, write use cases, manage our schedule, communicate with stakeholders? Like, how can we use AI for that? There's things like ESG, environmental, social, and governance issues, because I think we've got a much more prominent role to play in supporting our organizations on their ESG journey. There's career planning. There's we talked about organizational politics. Like, these are all topics that we don't really talk about in the BA community, at least not with any focus. We complain about politics, but we don't. So what? So what do we do? And so I thought, well, let me see if I can put something together, because each of those draws from different pieces of my life and my career and my background. And so it was like, well, if I'm not going to, someone else is going to do it, but they're not going to do it as well. So let me do it and see how it works. So that's why I did it. It's like with this first group, I had to charge something, because I wanted to just do it for free. I just wanted feedback. But if you offer something for free, there's a perceived value, right? If it's free, how good could it be? So I had to put some value to it. But it was like dirt cheap. I did it for the community. And now that I've had some feedback, now I'm going to skyrocket that price. And
yeah.
Well, the value that you're bringing in this program is you're not talking about it at an introductory level.
No.
You're talking about each of these topics from the perspective of how it impacts you as a BA and what you can do to improve things. So it's kind of a second or third level utility. It's not informational. It's basically practical application. So the way I liken it is the IABA's entry-level certificate in business analysis is just knowing the material, whereas the CBAP is application of what you know within a given situation. And that's the content that I see is in the program. That's why it's next gen.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
So I'm getting out of it too.
and along the way, I've continued to develop courses for LinkedIn. As of 2 weeks ago, I am the president-elect of IIBA Toronto. Like, just keep doing stuff. And a lot of it is driven by trying to give back and like build. I think we rise by raising others. So I didn't see this as like a money-making opportunity. I saw it as like, let me share some knowledge and hope that people get benefit from it and find value in it. That's why I did it. And so I'll do it again. It needs to make sense, like from an investment of time perspective. But for me, it's like, it's cost recovery. This is not what I wanted. It's not what I'm going to do as like, a primary source of income. So, because I just want to share what I know and share what I can with the community.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, it's interesting that Steve is in the course, because Steve's been doing business analysis work for
20 plus years.
Sure. Yeah. And so, but at the same time, I feel like with as fast as technology is currently changing, and as fast as I would say even the IT industry is changing with how analysis works, what analysis is, how it's evolving, that you almost have to have a next generation BA course that is saying, well, here's how to prepare only for right now, because we don't really know much more than what's going to happen in the next 3 years, for instance, versus, oh, this will prepare you for the next 20 years. And there's no way that we could even possibly know that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say the inspiration came from two places. One was a conversation that I had when I was at the IIBA Austin chapter last year at their PD day, and just overhearing people talking about you know, how do they get their hours for their recertification outside of going to conferences? Because there's nothing really available for those people like Steve that have been BAs for 20 years, and like again, outside of going to conferences, what do they do to develop themselves and their skills? And the other inspiration that I had was what I didn't want to include, which was a conversation that I had with Tina Lovelock, who people may know at I want to say at BBC, but it might have been somewhere else. And we were talking about how AI is going to impact business analysis. And I made the argument, and I wrote about this in my AI research. Like, it's going to replace all of the mundane, boring stuff that we don't want to do, right? And I talked about it earlier, like drafting requirements, like summarizing stakeholder meetings to elicit requirements, like that sort of thing. And she made the point that like flicked a light bulb. It was like, well, but then how do new BAs learn about that? I'm like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. Well, because there's some foundational knowledge that they need to understand of, like, the value of engaging stakeholders.
Sure.
Right? How to apply a particular tool or technique. And so I'm not saying she's right forever, but in the medium to short term, she's absolutely right, because right now the thing about AI is, like, most people don't know how to get started. And so if we just say, yeah, let AI do that, we're not actually transferring those foundational skills, those analysis mindset skills, to the next generation of professionals. And so that was like, that sort of crystallized my sandbox of, like, okay, yes, that is true, and therefore I'm not going to talk about that as part of this program. It's going to be aimed specifically at the Steves of the world, the people that have been around for 10, and I think I call this out on the website, like, if you're a BA that's like 10 to 20 years in, this is for you. It's not for new people. Go learn the foundational stuff. Go learn the fundamental stuff. And I'm not going to do it, because that stuff, other people do that much better than I.
Yep.
Right?
That's
but
fair.
This is like specific. Like, I didn't want to just say it's for BAs everywhere. I wanted to, like, define my audience, and it was crafted accordingly. So those are two conversations that really sort of shaped it. And, like, there is really nothing for senior BAs
And
or
I mean,
experienced
I feel like
BAs.
that's across the board in a lot of ways across IT, right? If you get to senior architects, senior developers, I think I've seen this a bunch of times myself, where they have a developer who is just a fantastic developer, hardcore code skills, and then for them to move up, they have to manage people, right?
Right, which is a totally different skill set.
That's not their skill set at all. And so then now you watch them kind of devolve, because they don't have those skills. They have to learn that, ramp up. They're not passionate about growing people. They're passionate about code and the technology, and that drives them. But at the same time, you might have somebody they've been a developer for 5 years, and that person is passionate about people. They know the code well enough to do that. Like, that person should be the one that's managing people, and then it should be a whole separate path. So I feel like that makes sense here, that we would have the same thing for a BA.
Yeah, I mean, organizations need to stop stop promoting the best doer. Right, not as rote. Like, you're right. You're bang on. It's put the person with the most appropriate skill set in the role, and yes, you can learn. But I know that when I shifted from being a BA to a PM, because I was told that was the career path, I was miserable.
Yep.
I hated it.
I'm glad that one changed.
I'm just saying, like, let me go back to, like, being a BA, because, like, this sucks. Status reports and, like, just harassing people. No,
Yeah.
that's not for me. That's not for me.
What do PMs do? They harass people. Yeah. Fairly accurate.
I would liken a good PM to like a referee in sports, like in hockey or basketball or soccer. A good PM, you don't even notice that they're there, because stuff is just orchestrated and happening. If I'm seeing the PM actively, it's because there's something wrong. So, and that's not to say that good PMs aren't visible. They are visible, but they allow work to happen and they just sort of orchestrate it.
Yep.
As opposed to harassing people for status updates as their only motivation. So, boom.
Well, question for you, Steve. Should we move on to our surprise segment?
Oh, yes.
So this is
Bring
the
it on.
thing that you were complaining, Vince, that we've had all these other guests on here, and we have something special for you that we've not done for anybody else. Welcome to
you understand I'm terrified of this, right?
Yeah, no,
okay.
It's fair.
Okay.
Only because we've had many conversations about a lot of different things.
Yes.
So you'll see. This will be fun. I promise.
Okay.
So welcome to the next segment.
Where is that picture from?
Was
that when I was wearing the AJ shirt?
Yeah, you were.
This one?
Yeah.
This one here?
Oh, the one that you prepped?
Is that one?
You still have it?
Yeah.
I still have it. I can't throw this away. I'll never wear it. That's why it's on a bed.
Yeah.
This is the shirt.
That
the
is.
AJ birthday shirt. There you go.
AJ milestone birthday shirt.
I kept that for a reason.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. So we have a new. I'm gonna find it. We have a new game, and everybody can play along. So it's not just for us; it's for everybody.
Everybody.
So now, and the screen's too small for me to share.
Everybody being Amy and Leslie, right?
That's correct. Okay, everybody being the three people that are here.
I just shifted over to the comments and
and I think Hans is online too.
Is Hans there too? Okay. I didn't see Hans.
So we're playing the game Invincible.
Okay. That's a great name, by the way.
You read the following questions and use your knowledge of Vince to answer the most likely thing that he would do given the situation. There are no prizes for the winner. We are all winners for having played the game.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Do I need to play too, or
yeah, you're the deciding vote on all of this.
So do I need to go to Menti or?
Yeah. So let's go back to so you can join.
Yeah, you should probably cue that up, guys.
Use the QR code. We'll go back.
Get this stuff going, man. This is unacceptable. Your QR code is is partly hidden, by the way. Okay, it still works though. It still works.
Mine pulls up.
Yeah, it still works. All right.
There we go. Is that better?
I'm good now. Let me give you a heart. I gave you a heart.
All right. Love it.
Okay.
All right. Steve, you in?
I am in.
Okay.
All right.
So again, we go back. No prize. So the first question is, what is the most Vincible? Vince allows an organization to keep bad business processes completely unquestioned, or Vince watches someone pour orange soda into good whiskey.
That's an easy one. I'm an organization's secret weapon, AJ. Secret weapon.
Secret weapon. Understood.
Love the process.
All right.
And love we could talk about what that means though, because a lot of people think it's about process and process improvement. It's not.
It's
not about process.
What is it about?
Context here?
It's about enjoying the journey. It's not about the destination.
Okay.
And so when I named my school, it was about loving the process. It's not about the destination of the certificate.
Okay.
It's about the journey to get there. Fall in love with the process, and the destination almost doesn't matter.
Are you feeling okay? You actually said process instead of process.
I speak American. I flip between the two, process and process.
So next question.
Only the O gives me away. All right, let's keep going.
All right. What is the most Vincible? Vince delivers a presentation where he must read paragraphs off of a slide, or he transforms Barbie Girl into an operatic aria and performs it live.
Yeah, this is another reason.
All right. So Vince, you would talk about this one.
Yeah. So I mean, for those that are answering right now, the majority is I think accurate. I actually did do this, not with Barbie Girl.
Okay.
I was at it was a sort of a difficult personal time in my life, and I was in a bar in Madrid that I loved going to before, and this is all before I had kids. I loved going to because it was a bar called, and it was in Spanish, but the translation was "My mother is a groupie," and that was the name of the bar, and it was it was the kind of place that, like, if you were looking for it, you couldn't find it, but as soon as you got there, you knew that that's where you were spending the rest of your night. And what I loved about it was the first time I walked in, they had old Much Music videos. Now, for those that don't know, Much Music is the MTV of Canada. And so they would play these Much Music videos, and I'm like, it's like I'm at home. It felt cool. And so there was one night, again, going through some stuff, and I ended up having a lot of Jägermeister and a lot of Coca-Cola, not the other Coke. And the song and Aha's "Take on Me" came on, and I ended up doing an operatic rendition of "Take on Me," because a lot of people don't know this. I actually can sing. I just choose not to.
I've not seen it. I've
heard you
tell stories about it. I've not seen it.
There's video evidence. It's at my mom's house.
Okay.
So we're good there.
Is your mom a groupie?
No, my mom is not a groupie.
Okay.
But that was the name of the bar. I don't know if it exists anymore, but it was called, like, My Mother Was a Groupie. It was a great bar.
All right, next question. What is the most Vincible? Vince delivers his Slay Your Dragons presentation while wearing medieval attire, or Vince unironically uses the phrase "Slay Queen Slay" in his Slay Your Dragons presentation.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I could see both of those happening. Which is most likely? Well, I think that's most likely.
I'm sorry, Vince. I just don't see any way that you could unironically say
Slay Queen
Slay and then pass it off. Like I don't feel like you could sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that I ultimately voted for the medieval armor one because I have a suit of medieval armor, so that's the most accessible one.
See, it doesn't even say armor though; it just says attire. So you could have been wearing
chainmail and
leather,
and leather
outfit.
Sure,
it's a different bar.
That's a different bar. That's My Father Was Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Slay Queen Slay.
Slay Queen Slay.
All right.
All right, bet.
All right. What's the most Vincible? Being globally renowned for a pineapple pizza that is named after him, or Vince being tickled for 10 minutes?
Oh, okay. What is wrong with you people putting the pineapple pizza? That is unacceptable.
See, I think
This is unacceptable.
I don't think that you could handle 10 minutes of being tickled. I feel like you would give up there 100% versus like if someone known like well, that's okay. They still know me. They still know my name, even though it's after. It could be Vince hates pineapple pizza, but
so here's the thing. As soon as you tried to tickle me, I would probably fight because I don't like being touched.
Yeah,
drop the wrestler stance.
Yeah. The other thing is like if you were tickling me and I knew, like if I know that someone's trying to elicit some response, there's a part of me that's like a pain in the ass and like, well, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction. Like I'm that guy who will go to a comedy club, sit in the front, and I have done this by the way. Sit in the front row and just go like this.
So you wasted your money.
To the comedian. No,
not at all.
That's fun for me. To not laugh. It's fun.
What they're gonna do though is like their whole job at that point is to make you laugh. So they're gonna find the content and they're gonna go all over their genre of material and to find the one thing that you find funny. Once they do that, like mic drop, they exit stage.
Sure. And once the seal has been broken, like I can't stop laughing. But I will like intentionally just like, nope, not laughing. So I would do the same thing here. You're going to tickle me? Fine. I'm not going to laugh.
I feel like the opposite of this would be great for Steve. Like we had to take him to a comedy club and then he couldn't laugh. That'd be great.
Sure. Well,
it wouldn't happen.
Tickle me Elmo. Like,
you're not wrong.
I know.
Have like a Tickle Me Steve episode. That's not how this show's gonna work.
No, that would be weird.
Yeah. That's crossing the line.
I have to say, first of all, I'm enjoying this game much more than I expected to.
See?
I'm because I did not trust you.
I know. You shouldn't. All right, the next question. Vince knowingly creates a process that reduces company productivity by 30%, or Vince endures 10 minutes of people giving him direct praise without commenting.
This is easy as well.
I feel like you'd be so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right, talk about it.
Oh, reduces. Oh, I didn't read that right.
Yeah.
That's my bad. That's my bad. That's my bad. I would have gone with the other one. No, you can't.
So it's 50-50 at this point.
Yeah, my bad. I would. Sorry, I didn't read that right.
Reduces productivity.
Yeah,
that is not you.
Yeah. No. I would have done the other one. My bad.
Okay.
So I got it right. I'm the one.
Of people saying nothing but positive things about you, almost like
I can't say anything. Yeah,
you can't say anything.
Yeah, no, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it'd be like a reverse intervention.
Yes, it would be a provention.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But like they would still read the same letters to you. You know, it was like all the positive things that they would have in the intervention. They still read the same letters.
It would be like, Vince, we love you. I don't know if you know this, but you're an inspiration to all of us. Please continue to do all the amazing things that you do. We love you. And I'd be
changed my life.
Like,
Vince actually has that on paper like this.
I don't. It's a blank sticky, but nice try there, buddy.
But you could easily.
All right, next one.
All right.
What is most Vinceable? Vince delivers a presentation titled Ugly Babies and What to Do with Them at a women's conference, or Vince actually tells someone their baby is ugly and how to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you would actually go to a women's conference and then present that material.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you look at my website, because obviously you haven't, that keynote has been rebranded.
Yeah.
As Speaking Unspoken Truths.
Fair.
And so it's still the same. I still talk about the ugly baby. It's just not the title anymore.
But
yes, I would totally do that. Because
said,
there's so
I did this thing without doing any sort of research. I'm a BA, for God's sake. Of course I did research.
So AJ, I'm just
Yeah.
saying there's context, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not going in there and like I have a disclaimer in that talk. I'm not actually talking about babies. I'm talking about a story arc in Seinfeld. And then I play the clip. So it like I'm providing context. I think that would go over well in a women's conference. Now what is the topic of the women's conference? Is it women in tech? I think that works. Is like what I guess it depends on the nature of the conference.
Virtual conference.
Yeah, but like virtual what? Like
I was waiting for him to riff and then just come up with something like so.
yeah,
it was, and it just lists something and totally inappropriate, which would have
and
been
that's
hilarious.
why I stopped.
I know, and it was right there. It was like one of those seconds where you just.
I know.
To save you.
I'm telling the audience. I'm telling everybody. Like that's what just happened. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So what's the most Vinceable? Vince cancels all company retrospectives and postmortems indefinitely, or Vince shares food with 3 random people, all with their own utensils.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
okay.
What I said.
Go
Vince
ahead.
shares his food.
No chance.
No, I know you don't do that, but I thought he cancels all company retrospectives indefinitely, so we're never going to change it.
Yeah. You know why I would?
You'd find a pivot.
No, you know why I would cancel retros? Because they don't work anyway. Nobody ever does anything after them.
Oh, see, and
what? No,
I would cancel them. They add no value because we do these lessons learned and then we never learn our lesson. So I would cancel them. They add no value.
Oh, see, now this should be the topic of the rest of the conversation for this evening, I think, because I have a whole lot of commentary around that.
Okay.
Opposing views for sure.
Sure.
All right. So the next question is, what's the most Vinceable? Vince hugs 100 random people consecutively, or Vince is forced to take requirements as ordered without vetting them?
What are you doing to me? Where are the 100 people? Like just on the street, or
it's random?
Yeah, so you're downtown Toronto, and then as they come up, you have a sign that says "free hugs," and then the first 100 people.
Okay.
Which one did you answer?
The other one.
I mean, you could have made that 10 hugs, and the answer was still the same. Random people. People.
It would be more of a thought, though. Like 10 people, like I could bang those out quick.
Completely random people? I don't know. I challenge that.
Do I get to pick the area of downtown Toronto? Can I do like the club district on a Friday night? Can I do that?
Under the bridge between...
No. No.
Under the bridge between the conference center and the hotel.
No, because I know what's down there. I used to work down there. No, I know what's down there. No, we're not. No, not the Simcoe underpass. No.
So you can pick the area, but not the time. I get to pick the time.
Oh, well played. Well played. Yeah, I still think it's the non-vetted requirements.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Most Vinceable. Vince drinks a 20 ounce of pumpkin spice latte every day for a month, or Vince gives AJ unrestricted access to all of his social media platforms for 3 days.
This is tremendous.
That's a tough call.
This is tremendous. All right. That is a tremendous question.
Ah, 50-50.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What was your answer?
I went with the pumpkin spice.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would have thought you had a little more trust and faith in
No.
AJ having unrestricted access.
No. It takes years to build a brand, and 3 days, 72 hours, way too much time to cause damage.
Oh,
No.
it'd be
I
so
would
much
drink.
fun.
I would down those pumpkin spice lattes with a smile on my face.
Oh. See, the part that you may or may not know about me is like I hate social media, so like I probably wouldn't even use it.
I know, but it's not yours.
I
I know
know.
that. No, I knew that. I took that into consideration.
Okay.
But it's not you,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Because you're right. I might actually use it at that point
You
for those
would.
3 days, and yeah,
Right. There's
Yeah.
there's nothing. You're not putting your information out there,
that's true.
right? I
That's
did take that into consideration.
All right.
Not just a hat rack, man. Not just a hat rack. That's a great. I think that might be the toughest question so far. That was great.
Well, then now
Okay.
it's up to everybody else. So if you're playing the game and you want to ask Vince any questions, now is your time. We are choosing to do this as our hotline, but just because we need to have a little bit of sizzle on this hotline, let's go ahead and do this like this.
Let's eavesdrop on the BA hotline and see what provocative project problems are awaiting us. Is your project in hot water? Operators are standing by. Ooh, that's hot.
All right. So the first question that we have is, what happened to the soul patch?
That's a good question. It just went away.
It fell off.
It's signed with management. It's now making porn in the San Fernando Valley, and I wish it well.
All right.
No,
Did it
you know
move
what?
somewhere?
It yeah, it moved to San Fernando to make porn. You know what? I've had that since I was in university, and so it just sort of felt like it was time to get rid of it. It did become part of sort of my look, but I don't know. I got rid of it. My daughters were my youngest especially was like, where's Daddy's little beard? And it was just it was gone.
Yeah.
So
all right.
yeah, maybe one day it'll come back. But I mean, you guys didn't know this, but before I met you, there was the beard period.
Oh,
That like
That would be
beard,
weird.
proper beard.
I'm curious about this.
There was the pencil the
chin strap?
No, not fully, but like the pencil. What the hell are these things called?
Sideburns.
The pencil sideburns.
There was the guy from Smash Mouth, like that level of
kind of.
Okay.
There was the one that for a while I was playing soccer, I would do the Alex Del Piero. Now, for those that don't know, Alex Del Piero, he had these sideburns that came down and then cut at an angle, so they looked like lightning bolts. Like I did that. There was the era of long hair, like, and I'm not talking long, how I've had it recently. Like I'm talking like shoulder length hair.
Okay.
All of these existed just before I knew you guys.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing though is you have a history of making poor facial hair decisions.
Just hair decisions.
Yeah, I mean, just hair decisions.
Okay.
They all worked in their own ways.
All right.
So, yeah.
Next question is.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not it. How do you get? There we go. Down.
So do you call those follicle failings?
Why are you putting up with this?
No.
That's a fair question. That just
Yeah, and that's actually my question.
Oh, I feel like that's accurate.
I thought that was Amy asking it.
No. Why am I putting up with this? You know what? I like you guys.
This is what you wanted. You said, I want to do this. I can't wait to do this. Why haven't you had me do this earlier?
I literally didn't say any of that. All I said was, "Why haven't you had me on your show?" Not "Why did you ask ridiculous questions?" Actually, to your credit, these are actually fantastic questions.
Thank you.
I will give you daps on that.
I
But yeah,
there's a line. I know
there's a
your
line.
and I like to, right there. Just
And I'll say, AJ, you are, to borrow a phrase from Dave Chappelle and Charlie Murphy, you are a habitual line stepper.
yeah.
A habitual line stepper.
Oh,
There have been a few times where you have stepped over the line, and we've discussed, and like I know it's, so the thing is, I know it's coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of malice. So
right.
there's the initial, like, I'm pissed off, and then I'm good.
Right.
But you are a habitual line stepper.
Yeah. Somebody knows what happens.
You're like Bugs Bunny.
Oh, all right.
Like, you're like Bugs Bunny. You know where the line is, and you're gonna step over it because it's funny and respect. Habitual line stepper.
Yeah. It only happens though with people that I feel comfortable enough to do that with. And then, because if there's someone that like they're not going to find it funny at all, then they're not going to be in on. Like, I feel like you roll with it, but your line in my head is a lot different than I think where yours actually is, and so then that's where the lines. I'm like, oh no, he'll be fine with this. Like, even some of these questions, I was like, oh man, that's going to be a weird one, and so
no, I think you're okay. I think you're okay. And if it comes to it, we'll check you, and that's fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be the first time.
But again, like, seriously, like I know that it's not coming from I know you're not trying to hurt me.
That's
right.
That's the whole point.
And I know that. I know that. So,
and then he posts the next question.
But it's like when people ask, like, when I've got people on my show, and they're like, oh, like Hans, yeah, he's okay. Like, if I actually didn't respect Hans, I wouldn't say he's okay. It's like what I said about Vic earlier.
Right.
Like, if I actually didn't like Vic, I wouldn't say, I can't believe you had stupid Vic on twice before me. Right. I wouldn't say that because I like Vic. So anyways.
Just so you know, I'm going to take that last part and that out of context, put that as like our 30-second clip. Like, I can't.
Why would you have stupid Vic on my show, on your show?
That's going to be a YouTube short, and then it's going to be great.
Tremendous.
So going back to that habitual line stepping, it's like,
yeah,
now we just take the context and change that up.
It's not a problem until Vic comes to check me, and then we have a problem.
See, but the fun part about that is, A, he'll do it publicly, and B, that'll just be fodder for your show, and then now you guys get to talk about it for forever.
Sure. Well, and apparently I have a rep with Vic, because you know what? I'm not going to share the story. Never mind.
You're going to save it?
Yeah, no, it's all good.
He's favorite BA from conferences. That's interesting.
Who's your least favorite BA from conferences? So is that like, who is my least favorite person that's like of the campers, or I need some context.
It's whatever context you attribute to it.
Okay. Listen, all I'll say is there are several people that I dislike, and they know who they are.
But I'm glad that you joined my show anyway.
Yeah.
There are several people that I dislike.
Kidding. We answered that one. What happened? So fast. We got that one. Yep. Sure they do. I took one of your courses on LinkedIn Learning. Can I get my money back?
No.
The answer to that is no.
No.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, geez. No. Next year, I think let's see who they bring in, but no, they won't.
That's a good question.
This is a good question. So like I said earlier, I've had to be quiet just because I've been working on a lot of things. It's not, sorry, let me walk that back. I didn't have to be quiet. I've been overly focused. I've been prioritizing other things. Right now in my head, the plan for Analysts After Work is September.
Okay.
And I'll probably end up doing is, a 10 episode season, and that'll be my cycle for a little bit. So I need to stave off burnout for as long as I can, because it becomes one more thing. But like,
It's a thing.
I may plan these as a burst and then get them done. Now I will say, if I'm doing Analysts After Work, I definitely want to have you guys on.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I think that would be awesome. I probably have to do the 3 gens.
Let's do it all 5 of us on.
No.
That would be amazing.
No.
You want to be able to have legible, conversation that's understandable, right? That wouldn't happen.
No.
So, question on that, and I'm going to pitch this live because why not? I was actually watching Your Mom's House. You ever seen that podcast?
No.
Tom Segura and his wife, Christy?
No, I don't know that one.
It's awesome. Anyway, so they've been doing, like, they were like early into podcasts, I think either right at the time that Joe Rogan started his or shortly after.
Sure.
Anyway, so they've been doing podcasts for a long time, and they've also built people out of that. So other comedians that are in their circuit, they've had them on there. So then if you go to their website, they have like Your Mom's House, and then they have the 5 or 6 other affiliated websites that go to like the other podcasts.
Yeah.
What would you think about a whole Analyst After? And then we talk about that.
Yep.
So it becomes its own thing. And then we do these silly shows after dark. We've got one for after breakfast. We do, after lunch. Something
Those
like that.
A lot of those conversations have already happened.
Oh, well then let's get on the table there.
There's an Analysts After network that I've thought about.
An after network?
An Analysts After network.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Right?
I see.
So Analysts After Work, Analysts After Dark, Analysts in the morning, that sort of thing.
Oh man, I would love like a morning show style.
Yeah.
Where it's like 2 people on a couch, and then like that's the whole style, and then they invite people over. Like, oh, that'd be great.
Yep. So I'll say, for those that are here, if you've got an idea, let's talk. Like, let's talk.
I love it.
Yep. But yeah, I see that idea, and like, I don't see it. I was very conscious, and I think you guys know this. I was very conscious not to interfere with your show, because, so for those that don't know, like, this is put on by my account. Like, I basically added AJ and Steve to my account, and they, like, I just said, just don't mess with my credit card information, and you're good, because they can see everything. As far as I know, you can see everything.
I don't think I can go to your credit card information, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay, then great. That gives me some security. But I remember in your first episode, I logged in, and I actually was about to jump into the backstage, and then I was like, no, this is not about me. It's about you guys. So I did not, because this is you. It's not me. Yeah. I'm happy to, like, that there's an affiliation. I'm happy for that, but this is your show. And I did say, and hopefully you guys remember, like, there's gonna come a point where you are the, like, I'm gonna be the baby sister, the baby brother show, right? Like, there's not
just BA babies, kind of like the Muppet Babies, and then
no, we can be the Muppet Babies. That's fine too. Yeah. But I'm just, like, I think I wanted to put you guys on, and again, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. We rise by raising others. So I wanted to see what you guys can do. And if you screwed around too much, I would have cut the show, and, but
then you clearly haven't watched these episodes.
I haven't watched any. All
right. We can talk about what we're drinking.
I got time. I don't have time, man. I don't have time.
Steve, what are you drinking?
Right now, water. I finished my drink.
You're going back? All right. Well,
same. I'm on water now.
Yeah, me too. Then. Cool.
It's clear. Yeah.
It's just brown water.
Yeah. Serendipity 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh man, this is like the number one question I get when I'm at conferences, honestly. So here's what I'll say. Conversations have happened between myself and my brother in Serendipity, Adrian Reed. We are both ridiculously busy at the moment.
Why should that matter?
But hold on. What we have said is, what we have agreed, at least, is that Serendipity will happen again. I don't know when, but it will happen again. It'll probably be different. No, it'll definitely be different, and I don't know what that means. But I think Serendipity 2 will happen.
Will it be called Serendipity 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Electric Boogaloo. That's the working title.
All right.
That's the working title. Yeah.
And
so it might end up being similar to like what I did with the Next Gen BA, but live, right? Like where you're getting access to thought leaders. Like it might be that. And so that means it'll be physical, it'll be in person, but it also needs to be much smaller. Because we had over 1,000 people at Serendipity.
Yeah.
Like it was ridiculous. It was awesome. But
yes, it was.
When will Vic be on the show? God,
that's so good. So good.
Why do you keep having stupid Vic on this stupid show?
Oh,
that's a perfect clip.
That's gonna be a sound bite too. I've got this sound bite. That's gonna be the next one.
I don't know what is that?
It's our friend Amy.
Fantastic laugh in
my
Boston.
God, it is Amy. Oh my God. Yes, Amy does have a distinctive laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes. And they did say that would be an amazing show as well. Leslie and Amy in the morning.
With wine.
Yeah.
So Leslie, if you want to talk, we can talk. It's got to be filmed in Scarborough. And maybe the show is called Go Lancers in the Morning or something like that.
Go Lance yourself. There it is.
Go Lance yourself.
Yeah.
In the morning. Anyways, we'll figure that out.
Oh man. It's before breakfast. What she's saying? All right, I think it can be.
What
like
about analysts before coffee? And it's just people looking at the screen.
That does not exist.
It's just this.
Yeah, there is no analyst before coffee.
How about Lancing Business Warts? And then now you've got Lancers, you got business. No?
I mean, there might be something there. Let's workshop.
Right. We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then that is our segment of both Invincible and so you know what? Just because I created it. Invincible.
That's tremendous.
Invincible.
That's tremendous.
Well,
you guys, you have set the bar for production.
Oh, hey.
On these live stream shows, and maybe that. I mean, if I'm being honest, that's probably why I stopped doing my show because I can't compete with this.
You could. It's actually not that difficult at all.
No, I know. I'm trying to pump your tires. Like,
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
You like free form.
There's also 2 of you, so like you can share the load.
Oh man, I wish I had the Samwise Gamgee. Just share the load.
Yeah. Oh, that
yeah. Lord of the Ring. No.
Share the burden.
Yeah. I want the ring. One ring.
Yeah, the one ring to rule them all.
Right.
Yeah.
Well. Fast call. You know what that means?
I don't watch your show.
You don't. Well, that's
now you're gonna know.
You did.
Uh-huh.
That means that it is now time for us to and the evening. So since you have talked about your LinkedIn learning, where can people find you?
Yeah, I mean, so the easiest place is my website, vincentmirabelli.com. That's from there you can get to everywhere else. As far as socially, like I happen to be most active on LinkedIn. You can find my courses there. I have just completed, and this was a milestone for me. I've just completed the recording of course number 10. And so when I started, that was what I wanted to get to, and now that I'm at 10, I want to keep going. So I'm recording number 11 in the next couple of weeks. Then I'm going on a holiday, and then I'm working on 12, 13, and 14 sometime in the fall. So you will get sick of me from a learning perspective.
Well, Vince, this has been fantastic. I've had a lot of fun. Steve?
I've had a lot of fun too.
All right. And a lot of that was at Vince's expense, which was also great.
But he enjoyed it too.
If you think so. As long as you're happy.
Somebody also asked about, what about VinceMirabingo.com? So this happens only during the Analysts After Work show. And to be honest, I actually pulled some of the content from today's Invincible session from previous episodes of Analysts After Work and the bingo card. But that's why we had to have a new game. So you have 2 games to your name, Invincible and Mirabingo. I mean, you are like a Parker Brothers or something.
Yep.
LinkedIn learning, keynoting.
Yeah. Or
2 games named after me on Analysts After Dark. That's legacy right there.
That's legacy right there.
That's legacy.
Tell your kids.
Yeah, that is legacy.
All right.
I remember when AJ and Steve used to play Mirabingo, and it was a stupid ass game, and I never understood why they did it, but it made them happy, so whatever.
Yeah, and everybody laughed their asses off.
That's true.
And everyone had a good time, and you know what? I spit in their drink.
We had to do something while you were talking about the weather in Bridgerton, so might as well, you know.
Listen, that was painful for me too.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Vince. This has been a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys.
If you want to check out our show next time, we have it's on July 24th. We are having the amazing Dr. K, Dr. Kristen Williams. She's a psychologist and will be talking to us about all the mental health stuff that we should be doing, that we probably aren't doing, and we need to build into our everyday. So this is AJ from Analysts After Dark reminding you to stay curious
and stay positive.
Thank you much.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Vince.